Hi, how are you? I will try to make an analysis, an harmonical and musical analysis of a choral, number 9 from this book, wonderful book that I suggest you to have. There is also the PDF on Petrucci, Ach Gott, wie manches Herzeleid. Before I will play it, and then I will cut the video and we will see together the score and we will speak about it. It's a simple, short but very interesting piece. Okay, we will stop the video and we will continue with the audio. What is a choral? There is a melody that is very ancient. As you can read, the melody is from Martin Moller, 1587, or the text is from the text is from Martin Moller, 1587. There is a German text from the Reform. In this moment, Luther and his kind of people thought that the church song has not to be in Latin, but in the national language, in English, in German, in French, in Italian, that the people will understand better. And then they found that the Gregorian was a little too much, without musical shape or with a raffinated, it's not so evident musical shape. So they decided to write music with strophic and symmetrical structure, so the people will remember better and can sing easier. In effect, this melody, the melody is the higher note. Drum will ich weil ich lebe noch, das Kreuz dir fröhlich trage nach. Mein Gott, mach mich dazu bereit. This is for soprano. Es dient zum Besten alle Zeit. And this melody is published in Hymnodus Sacher, Leipzig, 1625. And what did Johann Sebastian Bach? Johann Sebastian Bach found this melody, know this melody, sing this melody each week, each day in the church, and wrote the lower part, the alto part, the tenor part, and the bass part. If you check the score, there are, for example, at the beginning, 2 notes in the first line, violin key, and 2 notes in the bass line. What is this? The higher note, C, is the soprano. The lower note in violin key, E, is the alto, descant, contralto. And if you go in the bass key, the higher note is G for a tenor, and the lower note is C for a bass. So, starting from the bass, this will be the first chord, the first 4 notes together. So, the upper melody exists before Bach. And Bach decided which chord, which harmony, which tonality, and how to manage the movement from the voice. For example, Bach wrote for the alto E, G, G, F, G, G, A, G, F sharp. And Bach wrote for the tenor G, C, E, C, D, E, D, D, D. And Bach wrote for the bass C, E, C, F, E, F sharp, G, D. And all together, the 3 melody written by Bach and the melody existing before the soprano make this. I play the first 4 bars. How could work Bach? Bach was used to make the accompaniment of the people that were singing directly on the organ as an improvisation. So today we have to sing the psalm, the song number 9, Ach Gott, manches, Herzeleid. This is the melody. Before, Bach, for making the accompaniment, improvised or after written for chord, has to decide in which tonality we are, or there is many possibility. The first 4 notes could be in a lot of tonality, could be in F major, could be in A minor, could be in C major. I'm speaking not of chord, of tonality, the entire tonality of the piece. So the first, when you have to harmonize or to write the 3 parts, alto, tenor and bass, you have to decide in which tonality you sing. You decide, not you sing, you decide that you are. Because the same song could be harmonized in different tonality. And this is for the beginning of the piece. But the piece doesn't remain ever in the same tonality. If you look in bar 4, we have F sharp. There is no F sharp in C major. So this is a change of tonality. In the first bar of the second line, we have G sharp. Here we are in A minor. In the second bar, we have C sharp, D minor. So the tonality could change completely or partially. Bach decided to choose for this piece C major. The first chord is a chord of C major, C, E, G. The last chord is a chord of C major, C, E, G. Okay. The melody starts with 3 notes that are the same. Of course, you can make 3 times exactly the same things also for the other voice. It's possible, it's not forbidden, but it's a little boring. Bach decided to use for these 3 notes the same chord, C major, C, E, G, but with a movement. And what is the movement? The bass, instead of playing C, 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 plays C, E, C. And when in one voice change from C to E, normally the voice that in the first chord make E will not make again E in the second, but it will be too much E. And in effect, the alto that make E, bass, C, alto, E. Bass, E, alto, G. So the possibility was, this was a solution. But there is also tenor. Tenor start with G, G, the bass go on E, the alto go on G. At this moment there is too much G. So the tenor make G, C. And these 3 voices could do po, 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 alto, E, G, E, tenor, G, C, G, and bass, C, E, C. But Bach has go in another direction. Is going on the first note of the second bar with in the same tonality, C major, but with another chord, not the chord on the first note, tonica, but another chord. What's make the soprano? C, 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 A. Okay, and how interpret Bach this movement? Because you can go from the chord C, E, G, to A, C, E, from the first to the 6th degree, but it's not a good movement. You can go interpret to this A, first note of the second bar, of part of a chord of A minor, A, C, E, D minor, D, F, A, F major, F, A, C. Bach selected this one, chose this one, because the relationship between C major and F major, first and fourth degree, is a strong relationship, a strong movement. And in effect, if you listen, it's the best that you could use. Look the movement, the soprano, the alto. The tenor has E, and normally he has to go to F. But because the alto go from G to F, the tenor could make EC. All together. And the bass make the stronger movement CF. So look how it works good, bass and soprano. Cannot be done better. What happened? We are F, A, C. The soprano after A make B, and after B make C. So make this movement. Okay. We don't speak about the second beat, we speak about the third. When the soprano make C, Bach decide to arrive at the chord of C major, C, E, G, but in the bass he doesn't write a C but an E. So the chord will be E, E, G, C. It's a use of chord of C major in the second position with the E on the lower part. So just look on the first note of the second bar and the second and the third note. Good. And the B that make the soprano, normally the B in a C major tonality is on the chord G, B, D. G, B, D is the dominant, and normally the dominant in a C major has the seventh, G, B, D, F. And in effect, in the second time of this bar, if you look all the notes that play in this moment, F, D, G, B. This is the chord G, B, D, F in a very strong position with the F on the lower part. So it's interesting, the first F major, three voices go up from a step and one remain, and let's make that F, A, C became F, G, B, D. And now C major, but with on the bass E. There is a reason because the bass has to go on E and not on C. Two reasons. The first, when in a chord you have a dissonance, and in the chord G, B, D, F, F is a dissonance, it's a seventh, this seventh has to be prepared, has to exist in the chord before, this is preparation, and solved, resolution, has to go down. In effect, if you check the second beat of the second bar, F, D, G, B, the dissonance F exists in the chord before, and in the third movement make the solution going down from F to E. So it's perfectly written. Good. We are at the end of the second bar. And now the coup de génie, something very strong that you have to be a very good musician for write them. What happened? The soprano, the higher voice, go from C to D. Good. And what make Bach? C, E, G, and Bach go from C, E, G to D, F, A. To make this, to go from a chord of C major in a chord of D major, in this case with C sharp, it's very, very strong movement. It's not easy because you risk to make octave parallele, fifth parallele. You have to organize this. And you have to be very careful how to do the bass. You cannot change the soprano, it's written 2 centuries before. You have to be very careful in what you do in the other part. The bass go from E to F sharp. This is a distance of sixth. Distance of sixth note. The tenor, this is important, remain on go from E down to D. So make a movement opposite of the soprano, in opposite direction, opposite with the bass. And the alto follow the movement of the bass and of the soprano, go from G to A. And this is the effect. Very strong movement, very well written. I think it works because after D the soprano go down, D, C, B, A. This is very interesting what happened. We have in the third bar the chord D, F sharp, A with F sharp, D, A, D. D major. We are not in the tonality of D major. We are in the tonality of G major, and this chord is the dominant of G major. And what is interesting is in the third and fourth bar, the movement is dominant, tonic, dominant. DFA, GBD, F sharp, A. And the soprano make the dissonance. The dissonance in the chord D, F sharp, A, the dissonance is C. And in effect, the soprano make this dissonance. This dissonance is not prepared, doesn't exist before, but it is put in the middle of melodical movement. And all dissonance you can make when you have a melodical movement, especially if your movement is going down, because dissonance need to go down. It's interesting that in the third bar the song sings 3 notes, but the accompaniment just 2. There is 2 reasons. The first is the soprano make 1 syllable with 2 notes, lebe. Lebe noch. So there is 2 notes but with 1 syllable. And the second is that the soprano make consonant, dissonance, consonants. So it's the same chord. C. D, F sharp, A, D. D, F sharp, A, C. G, D, G, B. We will listen again before the melody. Okay. Melody and bass. soprano without tenor. Now we play without alto, bass, tenor and soprano. Now the lower three voice without soprano, so the note written by Bach. And now the four voices together. Okay, here we are. I was out of Bach. This happened. We are going making recording. I will play the four voices. Stop. Oh yeah. I will play the four voices together. Now the analysis will be more fast because we spoke about many things. Bach remain in G major. One moment. Yes, let's continue in G major. The melody A, B, C, D, C, B, A, G. It's very simple melody. If you avoid the rhythm, is so in G major, the first five notes, G, A, B, C, D, going up and down. Of course, Bach will not follow. This is not Johann Sebastian Bach. He tried to make, for example, in the bass, a melody that contrasts the movement of the soprano, jumping, going in another direction. And then Bach interpreted the last three notes with a cadenza in G major. First degree, fifth degree, first degree, tonic, dominant, tonic. So the melody or the soprano and bass together the other voice, for example the alto, follow but not in the third note. It's interesting. Look the alto. F sharp, G, 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 F sharp, G. We are in G major. And G major, this is the stronger and with most significance movement. G, F sharp, G. And this is very interesting. G against A. Dissonance, solution of the dissonance, G that go on F sharp. We are in the bar number 7. And both go together to make G. When you see a note with two legs, there is two voices that make the same note. So the last two notes before G are A for the soprano and F sharp. and both go to the G, but from different direction, one going down, one going up. And the tenor, we are making, which chord we are making? D, F sharp A, G, D, G, B, D, C, E, G. This is the chord that I used in this second phrase. And the tenor make the note that we need for completing the harmony. And also the tenor, there is an interesting movement in soprano and bass, and alto and tenor remain circa on the same note. Tenor make D, D, A, D, 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 E, D, E, D, D, C, D. And all together works perfectly. In the last bar of the line there is only 3 notes, but 4 performers, 4 voices. The bass make G, the tenor make B, the alto make G, and the soprano make G. Now, the melody repeat what happened at the beginning, 3 notes the same, a jump and the going down of a third. So, theoretically, Bach could make the same things made at the beginning, theoretically. But is not interested in going in this direction. It starts with, it make 3 different chords, 2 different chords in these 3 notes. In the first, it uses C major. Why C major? Because it's strongly related with the chord before. Like the chord before was the dominant of C major, and then because the chord before the chord of C major has a G natural, and in the second beat Bach make a G sharp, and this change from G natural, it's a very strong movement, and the alto make G natural, E, G natural, E, G sharp, A. That is similar at what did the bass in the second bar. And this is so this is the solution found by Bach. The first chord Bach, the first chord C major, then E, G sharp, B. We are not in E major, but this is the dominant of A minor. And in effect, A minor is the chord on the second bar, second line. Here it is exactly the same. The first 2 beats is exactly the same of the second bar. With these chord B, D, F, A. But in this case, the A, the lower note, doesn't go down to a G, make an octave. When you make an octave, you are repeating the same note, you are remaining in the same note. So, what happened? it's very interesting. Second line, second bar. A, C, E. A, F, B, D. A, G, C sharp, E. Incredible. So we were in A minor, and A minor became A major with seventh. This is A minor, and this is A major with seventh. For going an chord of D minor. In effect, we have C sharp, new entry. C sharp is in the chord A, C sharp, E, G. Very, very well written. And now, this chord of D minor is just for going on C major, and this is very unusual. For going from C major to G major, we go through F major 7th. Major 7th is very modern chord. This is really modern. The bass. D, E, F, G, bass with soprano. I'm playing the third bar, second line. Bass, alto and soprano. And what is strong is the tenor. All together. I will not be able for write this. I will not have to audacity for writing this. I will play the third sentence, so the beginning, the second line, complete. And here we are preparing to the end of the piece. We are in G major, but it's the dominant of C major. So this chord of C, B, D will go to the G, B, D will go to C, E, G. But the last sentence, the soprano has C, but the bass has not C, has E. This is for making this movement. For making opposite movement, soprano and bass. The soprano makes C, D, E, and the bass E, D, C. Then the soprano go on D, and the bass doesn't go on D, go on F. So we have the chord D, F, A, C. Then go to G, B, D. I play these 5 notes. Then A, C, E, 6th degree. D, F sharp, A, C, dominant of the dominant. G, B, D. And finish with the perfect position C, E, G, C. So it's very unusual in my experience. The last note of the third bar of the second line, and very interesting the fact that the second line doesn't start with A minor, but with C major. C major as G natural, and they make stronger relationship between C major, G natural, yes, with G natural and G sharp. This chord F, C, E is a very strange chord because it's empty. We don't know it is major or minor. And because the seventh is a major seventh and not minor seventh. So this is very unusual. I will play it again all so you will try to recognize of what we have spoken. It's incredible how many things could be in just 16 bar. 16 bar of music. But we are speaking about Johann Sebastian Bach, not another musician. Bye bye.